perfect amount of cringe.
All the cringe.
I live for the cringe.
Ah, the cringe. Speaking of cringe, welcome to Three Ugly Heads on the YouTube, Monday/Tuesday. Amigos and Co. Two beards, one old guy. I'll let you work out who all of those are. We'd like to welcome Mr. Legion Vapes from Northern New South Wales. And also Poonsauce McNasty from Illinois.
Is that Poonsauce? I thought that was Vandal. Finally grew a beard.
It's
got rid of the peanut face and next we grew a man's beard.
Yeah. Just like to check with chat if you can hear us and you can see everything okay. It all looks good my end, but just want to make sure that stuff is good. Thanks for joining us, Poonsauce. We are minus a Chris Vandale from Las Vegas, who is doing stuff. He's doing stuff tonight, and we hope he's safe and that he's got a mobile phone on him so that he can call home in case he gets into trouble. Yeah.
It's not if he will get into trouble, it's when he gets into trouble.
Definitely when.
When he gets into trouble.
Don't know what time it will be.
Yeah,
but it will happen.
I think the only question with Vandal, it's not a question of when he's going to get in trouble or if he's going to get in trouble. It's a question of, did he stumble across it or did he go looking for it? Either are likely, but trouble is inevitably going to be there.
That's exactly. In the pre-show, we were talking about a bunch of things, but Poonsauce McNasty was talking about lighting a cigarette off a sneaker, and I'd like to unpack that a little bit.
There's nothing to unpack. It's burning rubber, trying to light a cigarette off the shoe. It's not something I would recommend. It doesn't taste good, so don't do it.
Yep. All right. Well.
So the question is, what's going to be worse? Lighting a cigarette off of rubber and getting that rubber on the end, or lighting your cigarette the wrong way around, which I know we've all done. There's not a cigarette smoker in the world who hasn't lit in the wrong end at least one point.
Or when you open your freaking pack of cigarettes and realize like 3/4 of them are broken.
Hello.
And you just want to like murder the person next to you because they're the easiest person to get your hands on.
With that, I might just say hello to a few people in chat. We have Dennis Michael viewing. Hello, evening to you, Dennis Michael. Anthony Ramella. What's up, my dude? An advocate for liberty. Great Wombatsky. Birdman. Mr. Mowgli. Matthew Welch. We also have a Disco Potato. Hi, Steph.
Hey.
Thanks for tuning in. We were just... I'm sure everyone's had a big weekend doing all the stuff. #life. I'm a bit fried, I have to say, after the weekend. It was big on the social medias. And, when you do a lot of stuff like that, my mouth doesn't work. I have no more communication because I've spent all of my IQ.
You know that phrase, go hard or go home? I figure you probably did both of them this week. You went home, you set yourself up with a coffee and a comfortable chair, yes. And you went on the internet and you just went hard for 2 days straight.
I went hard and I went home.
Yeah. I saw some of your output and I felt massively guilty. I did a little bit. I took some time off. I came back. I retweeted. I felt tired from that. And then I came back a few times and I saw you just powering through nonstop all day. It was just intense. I don't know how you don't run down the street naked, killing the neighbors after that. It's just so much stress.
No,
well, I feel like that's what he did before he got on the Zoom, is just run down the street naked, except not kill the neighbors.
Yeah. Indeed. I think there's lessons to be learnt over the years that everyone's been doing stuff and advocacy, and I guess it depends on. Like this was I feel World Vape Day, and I mean even yesterday, and I mean because of the time zone changes, so there was 2 real days of World Vape Day, 2 days of World No Tobacco Day. I think this was a far easier way to make your voice and be noisy than say the Trump thing, in 2019, which was just like attack everybody. This was a more situation of just information and, filling a feed. I mean, it really depends on how you're going. Professionals were very much pointing the finger at specific groups, and a lot of the the consumer advocates, I think, were just there, filling feeds. It's really, really cool to see a feed that has the occasional tweet about everything else that's going on in the world, but vaping being absolute 98% of the Twitter feed for 48 hours. I don't even know if World Vape Day trended or not. I didn't even look to
what I saw. I checked multiple times, and I didn't see it get to that point ever. I don't think.
Right.
For like the specific hashtags.
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing is, this is a snowball. We go year by year. We go month by month. Maybe we'll trend next year. We just build it up.
I mean, it might have started trending for like a couple minutes.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking on that because it varies from like time.
Yeah.
So who knows?
And if you've ever looked at that list as well, the things that trend is like, what?
Kardashians'
like, I
butts.
don't care. What?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
What really annoys me, this is one of the reasons I step back from Twitter all the time, is it'll invariably be stuff like Piers Morgan talking about the Royals. Who cares what some old irrelevant guy who's not even on British TV anymore thinks about the Royals? But it's always something like that paired with something really stupid like Kim Kardashian's butt implants or something.
Yeah. But I think, out of all of that stuff, the really good things is, there was a lot of really good messages, and World Vapors Alliance, and the actual pages, World Vape Day. There was an awful load of content that came out. I mean, God, there was every 30 minutes on Instagram, and every plus all the engagement that they were doing during that. Could you imagine managing those accounts? It just would have been non-stop. So yeah. But I hope everyone watched any of the Facebook stream. That was intensely good. It is still up on the World Vape Alliance. World Vapors. I always get that wrong. Is it World Vapors Alliance or World Vape Alliance?
I don't remember.
Yeah, their Facebook page has still got the live streams involved. Obviously, also with Brent Stafford, who was doing the North American stuff on Regulator Watch on their channel on YouTube. There's three and a bit hours on there. Really, really good stuff. That panel, or the two panels in particular that I watched, obviously the one with... Sorry, I'm talking about advocacy. I know we're here to hang out. But Grim Green, Michelle Minton, Yaus, also Christopher Snowden. That panel was insanely good, really good amount of information in a very short time. But also the finale panel with, obviously, with Dr. Maya, having a complete blank, Clive Bates. That was that was intense. There was a lot of info in that, but definitely worth a watch. If you just go to the Facebook page, World Vapors Alliance, you can't miss it. It's a 7-hour stream, but I do believe that there is sections you can just flick through, and you won't miss them. Yeah. So that's that. I mean, it's still going. It doesn't mean it has to stop. It doesn't have to stop today. It doesn't have to stop tomorrow. It can start again next week. So all of those things.
Advocacy is an all-year-round effort.
Hundy P. Hundy.
But on a side note from that, I have some tea. I have some gossip for us. I heard that an Australian personage, shall we call him, a well-known figure, has sold out, has given over their soul. Capitulated to the lure of money. What do you got to say, Adam? You got to censor yourself.
How dare you? I did sell out. Well, not really. I didn't sell out. Shit. There is no money to be made in the vape industry, bro.
Tell me about it.
No, yeah, good news today. Finally able to let it out. It's been a little while coming, and I have done a collaboration with the company Frank and Atticus here in Australia. Frank and Atticus, the folks there are incredible humans, and we've been talking a while, and it's always one of those things, I guess, when you're like, hey, would you be interested in doing this? And, I think they probably get asked a lot, because of their recipe creations, and also, I guess, the brand and voice that they've created. I have to say, I've always been a fanboy, or fan person of their branding and their what they've done. So it's a complete honor to be involved in anything that Frankenatticus does. But yes, today it came out. It's coming soon. It's currently on the press right now. I can't show you just yet, but I just got a video of it rolling through a bottling machine. So it's coming to the shops very, very shortly. It's being bottled as we speak. It's been steeping for a while. It's one recipe at the moment, with an asterisk on that. But it's the first one. See what people think.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all those times over the last 6-7 months that you've heard me bantering right at the end of the Aussie Vape Show or Amigos about news, about do you have anything coming up, and I'm kind of prodding them. It's pretty much always been, when's your liquid coming out? And finally, I was actually surprised. I had no advance notice, no warning. I was just looking through Instagram. I was like, oh,
yeah.
Bastard didn't tell me.
I'm going to put it up on the screen. Everyone's faces except for Corey is being covered, but that's the promo that's come out, and it really was a situation of a collaboration. The fellas came up with the handshake situation that we wanted to do, and that's part of the promo. Very exciting. It's out. I've been, of course, trying not to detract from the events of the last couple of days. It's always a weird one to try and do self-advertising when that happens. That should be the last thing of importance. But yeah, it's coming out. Unfortunately, obviously, there's quite a few people in the US that are watching, and we're working on that. We're working on how to get it to other places. But yeah, it's very exciting. So in Australia, it's coming very, very shortly.
Excited. You can expect my order in anytime.
Yeah. I have, I was getting hammered by you both of what the profile is. I will say this with a disclaimer, is that it was more focused on the composition of the recipe as such. That's the kind of folks that Frankenatticus are. That's what I really, really like about them and their e-liquids. They're very, very intelligent recipe creators. So it is a complex yet delicate situation is the only way that I would explain it. It may not be for everybody, full disclaimer. But it is a simple kind of recipe as a profile, but the how it was made is very, very different. So it may not be for everybody, as a full disclaimer. But I'm head over heels stoked and happy with it, and I'll shut up about the e-liquid now.
Is it minted peas?
It is most definitely minted ham and cheese croissant.
Perfect.
Yeah, with super chill. With
my favorite.
See, you had me going right up until super chill. It's like,
hey, you're the one that was vaping a ham and cheese flavor, so you can.
Ham and cheese is great. Ham and cheese with cooling, not so much.
I'm still trying to get over that. Are you still vaping it? Or you finished that bottle already?
I'm almost done that bottle. I got another 100 mils on the way. It's good. Good stuff. You shake your head all you want. I like me some ham and cheese.
I think it's I was just going to say to Anthony Romello there, I won't be running out of e-liquid. Would you believe that I actually don't have any? So that's always the case. You get involved in it, and I don't have any. So there you go.
Better put your order in quick.
Yeah, I need to put an order
in.
Go fast. Yeah. Shall we move into a little bit of vape stuffs?
Let's do that.
We haven't done the international vape law situation of the vape buffet. Our esteemed guest, Mr. Poonsauce McGuesty, what are you putting in your face hole today?
Got a few things. MK Regina with the GT4S. And inside of there, I got some 4-strokes from Canada. That Blueberry Cheese Delight, which is delightful. And then I got the Death Wish Leviathan with the Violator on top. And then inside of there, I got some Babacted. Some of that strawberry caramel cream.
Yep.
And then I got my Death Wish Nostromo with the Fatality M25. And inside of there, I got some of that super good, that Parafish Champagne, which is outstanding. And yeah, pretty much it for me.
Nice.
What about you, Mr. Steve?
I am running really lean and simple today. I've got the Obelisk 120 with the torch, lights up. It's not why I'm using it, but it does. I'd kind of ignore that part of it. It's a decent vape, good flavor. Running some Buddhist Dude's Cinedude, which I just started on the weekend, and I'm about quarter of the way through. Actually, been powering down on that. Really like that one. I'm also running the brand new Coolfar Z. What number is that? 80. Coolfar Z80 from Indican. Just came in last week. Nice little setup. I pointed out on the Aussie Vape Show that my one has a suede finish, and I was very worried about the idea of getting e-liquid on there. And I woke up this morning, and here's the thing. It's got a twist on the top. So you just turn it that way, and you got that sort of a push to fill port, and then you turn it back. Here's the thing. If you leave it open, the air pressure doesn't equalize, and it will leak, which is what I did last night. So this morning I got up, walked through, and yeah, it was coated, all coated. Half the suede was just dark wet. Gave it a good clean, and I don't have the top camera, so I can't really show you, but I can actually say that you couldn't tell. I was surprised. I thought that if you get any moisture on this, it's just going to look like shit right away. But I'm glad that I had that accidental leak, because when I do the review for it next week or so, I can actually report back some truth about it. It does hold up. It doesn't stain. It doesn't darken. It doesn't have that little, sort of piss stains that we get on our pants when we get our e-liquid there. Works quite well. In there, a little bit of still vape in this. The Ohm Man's Finest. They sent this to us, to all the Aussie Vape Show people last week. Literally a bucket of juice, just every flavor they do. I started off with basic custard, the traditional classic, and it tastes like that classic custard. It's really nice. And that is literally it. 2 vapes. That's all I've been vaping for the last 2 days. Got other things. Don't care about them. Just keep reaching for these. Adam, what you got?
I have been very, very simplified setups as well. I have the Denali. That's not the Denali. That is the Snowcap Mods Avalanche V2 Mech Squonker 21700 situation with a Nightmare 25 on there, and I have in there some glazed donut from Frank and Atticus. But that is basically all I've been vaping for 3 days now, because Squankin, and the Abyss with the ether, and that has in there custard cookies from Vapor Treats in the US of A, my little indulgence liquid. But that's literally it, and maybe a little bit of Calburn G action, but the battery's dead, and I haven't been vapping on that. But that's basically it. Simples. I'm enjoying the low maintenance vapping of Squanking. At the moment, it's been good. As you say, Steve, I've been furiously twittering, so it's it's good. Squank, furious.
Hands are too busy to rewick.
Yeah.
Way too busy.
Way busy. Yeah, way busy.
Birdman is in the chat, and he says he's vaping Birdman Swirl. It sounds a little bit rude to me.
It's the name that has been affectionately given to well, you know about that, Steve. Yeah, it's. He's claimed it as his. I'm sure the Frank and Atticus fellas, they gave him the okay. They sent him that bottle with the Birdman Swirl label on it that was 4 litres of that situation. Yeah. Birdman Swirl.
Still sounds a little rude.
Yep, it does. And Big Rick is saying Vandal has grown a beard in a week and changed his look. Most definitely.
He's finally grown up. He's got that manly beard, and he's gotten rid of all those lights behind him. Unlike me.
That's right.
I'm only halfway there.
Yep. Mr. Poonsauce, we were talking about the show recently, and you do the show obviously with Logan Exhales. What's in the news? And you got a little bit of something for us. What's coming up, or are we just going to?
we got a couple things talking about it. I've had it all bookmarked actually. Where let's look.
Sorry, I'm hitting you with that.
I know you caught me off guard here, but it's
Yeah,
okay.
gotcha.
Got a couple stuff we're talking about, some more kind of cannabis news going around with a couple states going medical and some states not going medical. Some flavor ban stuff and some really interesting situations where we're going to kind of talk about this little article where they kind of showed the statistics in San Francisco where kind of vaping has actually helped youth smoking rates, and it's going to be it's an interesting topic to talk about because kind of saying that I'd rather have kids vaping than smoking is kind of a weird situation because we've all had it put in our head to where it's like we want to keep this product away from kids, but it's kind of you have to think about the situation of if it's converting teen smokers off of cigarettes, can you really be mad at it? And we're gonna kind of deep dive talk about it and kind of really just kind of break down what our thoughts are and kind of get off what chat thinks. And it's gonna be on edge a little bit because it's always a weird kind of conversation that I don't like talking about.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I don't want to ever say anything like to where somebody can go in and say, "Hey, this guy wants teens vaping," and then just take it totally out of context. So it's like there's times where I just want to completely avoid the conversation altogether. But
it's
there's
very
times where you just can't avoid it anymore, and you just have to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's very tough to have an adult, in-depth, nuanced conversation when you realize that the world is looking to find sound bites to pull out of that and use against you. It kind of scares you off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is, but try to get out of my comfort zone and actually talk about it a little bit. And who knows? It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. But also, changing tact. Your beer reviews. You've been going hard, and full respect to you. I love it.
And just grinding. That's all you really can do.
Grinding.
Time to do it. It's just a grind.
Yeah.
All it is.
There's so many alcoholism jokes to make, but I won't even go there.
No.
Oh no.
No, just grinding.
Any of them that you have thought of making, I've probably already been told them already, to be honest.
Yeah. Don't go there.
Like, you're the best alcoholic I know. Like, thanks.
Hey, as long as you're looking after yourself,
Yeah.
that's all I care about.
And it's kind of it's accountability too, because I usually limit myself to one beer a day, and it's like a beer a day keep the doctor away kind of situation. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know
Indeed.
if that's how it totally goes, but we'll see.
Yeah.
My liver may hate me in the next 10, 15 years, but we'll get that road down when we get to it.
I don't think one beer a day is going to cause you much issue.
No.
It might start causing worse acid reflux, but oh well, I already have that. So it's okay. But yeah, it's been fun. It's been really fun. Still grinding away at it. Hopefully, once everything with the COVID situation kind of dies down more, once I get my second shot taken care of, I'm going to start getting out there and try to get into the beer workforce, which is going to be fun. So, trying to get a job at a brewery and kind of work my way up the ranks out of a location like that and actually be in the industry that I want to be in. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
That's
You
cool.
never know what can happen and all kind of new opportunities that can grow from it. So it's like it would be like kind of like a refresh on life, I guess.
How much content have you? Because you've been doing this a couple of months now. Like, so how many videos do you actually?
Oh hell, I can actually tell you right now. But there's actually, let's see, without the ones that I've added to the beer review playlist, I've already done 112.
112.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Imagine having that on your resume.
Hold on, 112, 113. 114.
There's most definitely probably people that already are in the industry who haven't tasted 112 beers.
Gotta say, if you're going to get into the reviewing game, that's the smart way to do it. Like if you get into cameras, I mean, before it's going to take you 5 years to be anything where they send you stuff, so you've got to buy shit all the time. If you get into remote control cars, you're always buying new cars, right? buying something that's comparatively inexpensive that you're going to consume anyway, going to buy it anyway, going to drink it anyway. Let's film it. That's the right way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Smart.
all the stuff that I've gotten, I've spent money on. Nobody's sent me anything that I've been investing in. I guess you could say investing into myself, which is pretty much what it is.
Yep.
So I've been doing that and kind of hoping that eventually starts getting a little bit more movement. I know I've been gradually getting newer people to pop in. It's actually really cool once in a while when I actually get people that work at the brewery to say that they watch the video and they like what they see. So that's really cool as well.
Yeah.
So
That's what I mean.
I was going to say, it's always good when you get industry feedback.
Yeah.
Sort of validates what you're doing.
100%. And also, again, like coming back to that to say, as part of the interview, I guess, process is to say that, I've got content that I've been creating because I'm trying to learn. And I mean, that's all I ever did in coffee industry when I was, starting out, was buying and tasting and going to every cafe I could, that I could, because I wanted to see what people are doing and try. I mean, you could never, make a dent in what's out there in the world, but in the same vein, if you're actively, tasting, trying, talking, like there is no better experience than that whole situation. So, I commend you to the earth and back. It's a huge thing. Really, really good.
Yeah, it's fun. It's kind of interesting doing a way where it's like you're teaching yourself to kind of taste different things after a while, but repetitiveness kind of takes its toll a little bit, and it kind of helps. The more you do it, the more you're able to dial down on notes that you tasted before. And when it comes to noticing little things, that it becomes a lot easier. When I notice, like, you have so many of like the same kind of beer, and then you have one that's that same profile, but they did something a little bit different, or there's a little bit of a different note that you get, it comes out more than usual for me. That's what I've started to notice. Like the one I had today, it was like there were hints of like oatmeal and freaking like granola flavors that I've never had in an IPA before, and it was a predominant like flavor I tasted. I was like, whoa. So it was interesting. Very, very interesting.
Disco Potato is saying really looking forward to the next few. Is that the tell us a little bit about is that the series, the mental health?
Yeah. So
beers?
I'm a week late on when it was actually happening. So last week, I don't know if it was last week when they were kind of promoting it the most, but there's a Eagle Park Brewing Company in, I forgot what state they're in, and a group called, where they are, a group called Hope for the Day kind of came together and got a hold of a bunch of breweries throughout the country, and they decided to come out with a series of beers. I think they already have like 20 something breweries involved in it, where they came out with a series called Things We Don't Say, which is bringing awareness to suicide prevention and mental health awareness, to where all like most of the proceeds when it comes to the beer being purchased is actually going to that foundation and everything. And the cool thing about what they do with the can, all the can art is very similar. I know I still have the can on here because I didn't throw it out yet, because who knows, I thought I might have been talking about it tonight. It's very simple, simplistic. It just has that, tells you the brewery it's from, but then the real cool thing tells everybody like kind of the main supporters through all this. And then right on the side, which is the best part, it has different phone numbers when it comes to National Suicide Prevention Hotline, National Sexual Assault Hotline, Crisis Text Line, a text line and a phone number for veterans if you're having mental kind of situations, and the Trevor Project for LGBTQ youth. There's a trans lifeline, and then there's a substance abuse and mental health services hotline as well. So it's a really, really cool thing that I'm happy to kind of take the time out of my week when it comes to my regularly scheduled kind of stuff that I had planned, because the 5 of these that I just got in last week, and I'm willing to kind of put all the stuff that I already had regularly scheduled to come through to review, put those on the back burner for a week, and kind of focus my attention on these 5 and kind of bring more awareness the way I can when it comes to doing beer stuff. Even though if it's just me talking about it, mentioning it every single review I do this week, as long as it's out there and available to people and they see it, I'm happy with it.
It's
I just noticed that, Adam, you've thrown that comment into a chat. Why can't the vape industry do things like this, bringing exposure to subjects that matter? And I've seen a few attempts to that. And I would say the reason why we don't see more, I think we are an industry that would tend to go more for that because I think that's an awesome idea.
Yeah.
But I think the difference is that the alcohol industry is established and not really under attack. And so they're able to lend their voice to that sort of thing. Whereas we are pretty much fighting for survival every single day. And that's what holds us back. And a lot of times there's an awful lot. And we've talked about it so many times. There's so much awareness, knowledge, personal experience, and compassion and empathy in this industry, like whether it's in the community side and also on the business front. And I think that, I think we would probably lean more into that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen the 24-hour streams for mental health. We've seen, I've seen so many reviewers that have moved from just a product of the day to we have a mental health awareness stream at least once a week or every month or whatever. I think these things are there in us, but we need to kind of bolster ourselves first.
Yeah.
And the crazy, going back to like kind of comparing the vape industry and the beer industry a little bit, because I know we've had the conversations before and trying to find similarities between the two. And one thing that I've noticed is a lot of when it comes to vape companies, they see it as competition, to where people are out there kind of not buying my liquids, so they're buying somebody else's, so it's competition. Where I notice it more in the craft beer industry, where it's not competition, it's like you're a coworker practically, because you're in the same industry, you're creating the same kind of product, but everybody knows that they're going to create something a little bit different. That's how making beer goes. You can have the same recipe and just tweak it slightly, and it can be a completely different beer. Or just it depends on where you are location wise and where you get your ingredients from. And it's not that way with vaping. It's a lot of it's very competition based, or we don't want to work with them because they're going to get more sales than we are, and all kind of thing. It's very cutthroat right now still. It's been
you're
a lot
100% right.
Survival.
And
yeah.
to where in the beer industry, I think everybody's more open to having buddy be like being able to go to different places, get different stuff. And that's what makes it so great, is everybody's so like, yeah, we're going to be like teaming up with other breweries, doing like a little mini, I've seen where one brewery that I know of that's local to me is working with other breweries and kind of creating their own little like beer fest, where they're having people from those breweries come to their beer garden and kind of have situations where they can have like a little get together and all that kind of stuff. It's a really cool thing.
Yeah.
Craft beer industry has kind of been my new love affair, just because I see all the stuff that I wanted from the vape industry to happen and see it happening in this industry, another industry that I love, though another industry that I'm actually growing more passion to than vaping, to be honest. But it's the people. That's all it is. It's the people, that how they want to do things and how they see an industry should go. And you kind of wish that same situation would happen with the vape industry as well.
I have to say,
not like that at all.
I have seen different representations of the industry. Though, like, let's focus mostly on e-liquid, less on the hardware. But I have seen different representations around the world, and not to toot our own horn too much, but the Australian industry is actually leaning a lot closer to what you're talking about. They will have an open house day for a new bottling plant, and you will see representation from all different companies, all different e-liquid manufacturers meeting, hanging out. They do chat behind the scenes. They do help each other quite a bit. There's a lot of that going on here, but I haven't seen that so much, say, in the UK scene, or little bit. I've seen a little bit in what I've seen from the US, but usually it's old school. It's people who've been around for 10 years. Like, Dwayne will be your friend if you make e-liquid. That's fine. He doesn't care. He's no competition to him. He'll help you out. But new people, they're worried about their bottom line, and they tend to be a bit more cutthroat, which is a shame, because I think when you're cutthroat like that, you cut off a support network.
Yeah.
Like, how often in e-liquid do you see collaborations happen between two businesses?
Yeah.
I can't even tell you the last time I saw one. When it comes to two liquid manufacturers or two liquid companies coming together and creating a single product. With beer, you see that all the damn time.
Yeah.
You see multiple breweries collabing. I know of one I believe it's Delaware, where there was 23 breweries teamed together to create one beer.
That's a lot of chefs.
That shows so much teamwork involved, so much collaboration. That's what I look for, and that's what I want to see in the vape industry, because I feel like we would be in a better situation if there was more teamwork and more like of a working together effort
Yeah.
when we're still, I don't think, really even close to being at that full point of even being noticeable for collaborations and having teamwork happen.
But the strange thing is, behind the scenes, the consumers, it's a completely uneven situation, because as far as community support and all those issues we were just talking about, like it's everything. There's always on every week. There's some kind of show for mental health or minority groups or all of that kind of stuff. But the moment you put a brand to it, it's lobbying, or it's advertising for a product. Like you say, Steve, is we're under attack. Every single move. We can't even talk about it in a vape store. That's the ridiculousness of the situation. But 100% can hear the parallels between beer, coffee. I'm sure winemakers, foodies, that whole situation, but none of those industries are under attack, so it's what an absolute mess. But yeah.
I guess the key point to pull from this then is that when we see these things happening that are rare, collaborations between different companies, etc., support them. Support them, or at least voice your support in how great that is. Give them that feedback, and bottom line is always going to be money in terms of impact, but you encourage that kind of behavior. When you see two different hardware companies work together, putting aside their differences and not competing with each other, that's a good thing. When you see different e-liquid companies working together, but it happens that often, that's a good thing. So
yeah. Advocate for Liberty is saying their collaboration tends to happen only on DIY level for liquids.
That makes so much sense, because you got to think about the two DIYers aren't making a big buck in the industry.
Yeah.
So where, look at beer, these companies are still making a good buck. I mean, they're able to stay open, and they're still choosing to work with other. Technically, you can say they're competition, but they don't treat each other like competition.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what I love about it so much.
If you're not like that large mainstream, if you're not Busch Anheuser, no. They're worried about market share against Miller and things like that. But when you're talking about the level below that, craft beers and independent breweries, they'll sell what they sell, regardless. They'll sell their product. People will buy it. Most people have some favorites, but will try all sorts of different things, and they know this, so it's fine. And the vape industry needs to be a bit more aware that, I will buy your e-liquid this month. Next month, I'm buying something else. My third order, I'm trying 3 different other companies. I'll do a little bit of everything. And most of us will do that. Like, there's very few people, despite what you see in the comments section on social media, there's very few people that only vape Geek Vape. Reviewers will show, like, I'll show you a product. It's top and bottom. It's all for one company. It's a bit of a respect for them when I do that review. But in reality, topper and bottom don't need to come to the same company. For me, that's irrelevant. And I think the same goes for just about anyone out there. I mean, sometimes it's nice to have the match kit, but overall, you have juice from 20 different companies. You have hardware. You mix and match what you like. So they're all going to get their piece of the pie in the end anyway. So collaboration or other companies doing well does not take away from their market. If a new company comes up and sells more juice, that's just more juice being sold. It's not.
I can offer some insight into coffee industry in this situation. Collaboration, when it happens, is not as often as you think, but it does happen, and the consumers go crazy for it. Like, to see your 2 favorite brands come together and do something is out of control. But the big thing that the industry has been worried about, and purely my experience and a subjective comment, of course, but protection of IP is the number one situation that they're worried about, that companies are worried about. Oh my God, we roast this way or we source this way and all that sort of thing. And at the end of the day, even someone like myself has, gotten to a certain point. No one cares. Nobody cares, because the reality is that it's not your hands, it's somebody else's situation. They're not you, they're not going to be able to steal from you. They're not going to be able to do that. And, I keep coming back to that situation. If we did the Elon Musk thing and shared IP, everybody goes up. The quality of everybody goes up, and that whole situation, people are so scared about, I do it this way, and this is my IP, and I created this, and give it out, give it away, give it away to as many people as you possibly can. Wow, I almost ranted then. Sorry. Yeah, almost.
So how do you really think about clones, Adam?
That's a little different.
Going out there a little bit when it comes kind of thinking about when people say, oh, there has been collaboration between reviewers and companies. It's not the same. If somebody's going out there and creating a product with a company, it's a partnership. I wouldn't say it's really, because when you look at a beer collaboration, it's two businesses that already have their staple, already have the groundwork in. I mean, they have locations, but then they come together kind of situation. To me, when I see a reviewer coming out with a product working with Hell Vape or something like that, it's not the same kind of collaboration thing you would see between two stable companies working together. It'd be the proper way I would think about it when it comes to seeing a collaboration effort between liquid companies, with seeing companies like Frank and Atticus team up with companies like Supergood and come out with a singular product. Because have your own staples and come out with a collaborative effort and do something like that. Yeah, that's something I would love to see more of.
Well, like you say, people go Burko for it. They go absolutely berserk. To see your favorite brands, join forces is insane. The collaborations are always devices, liquid, clothing, any of those things that all happen. It sends us all into a frenzy. Well, so
yeah, that bigger picture, was it last year or the year before? Cadbury's chocolate is the biggest brand in Australia as far as chocolate's concerned. Vegemite, everyone knows what Vegemite is. They collaborated, both logos on the front of the package. Tastes like shit as far as I'm concerned. Some people like it, but chocolate with Vegemite in it sold like crazy because, oh my God, it's my two favorite Australian brands. Boom, it sold. I think they did potato chips and chocolate as well, in the chocolate.
Yeah.
Smith's, another known quantity, a known brand in Australia. People go mad for that.
Yeah.
We see that in our industry all the time. When you see the whole reviewer collab with hardware thing comes from that concept. It's that brand name of Twisted 420 and Utofa slammed together, two great tastes in one. That thing kind of sells, and we see that with the panel shows that we do, that we watch. All of a sudden, if you have a special we had it ourselves, Grim Green on our show. Oh my God, it's those two people together bantering. That's awesome. Yeah. I love to see that. What I don't see, and what really kind of surprises me, is that in the YouTube side of things, if you look at humorous videos, people who do skits, after they've been around for a year and a half, they built up their little their following, and they've got some numbers. All of a sudden, you'll start seeing them guest on other people's and them back. Sometimes you get that cool thing where it's a two-part skit. They're separate, independent, but they're on each other's channels, that sort of thing. We see collabs happening all the time. You see it in the makeup industry. You'll turn on your favorite makeup reviewer, and all of a sudden, this other person will just kind of walk into frame. Or I've seen it in camera reviews where someone says, I don't know how to explain this. Let me call other well-known camera reviewer, and it will cut to his set while he talks about it and then back again. These things really, they amaze people. They delight people. There's a little bit of community going on with each of those things. And it's something that I have never seen. Let's put aside panel shows, live streaming panel shows. I've never seen a single reviewer collab with another reviewer on a review. And if you're a reviewer out there watching, I'm down for it. I'm absolutely down for it. I'll film my bit, you will film your bit. It's a little bit hard to figure out what do we do, but I would love to see, I've seen, like I said, we've seen Dwayne in the background of some of Grimm's. We've seen him sitting talking to someone, but an actual, we're reviewing a product together differently. That's a way that I've never seen things go. I'd love to see that.
Yeah. Maybe because it's just
really cool.
Yeah. Like you say, I think people get focused on trying to do what they're trying to do, and those other things 100%. Yeah. Well, we went into a lot of places there, just talking about beer. So there you go.
Were we talking about beer? So long ago.
I'm pretty sure I asked Poonsauce about his beer reviews, and that was where that came from. Yeah.
Can I just say I love having a mute button right here, so I can. It's perfect, especially when I have a cough.
I feel like your wife needs that exact button.
My wife needs.
Whoa! That's. Let's change tack a little bit and let's get into the. It's time for the. You can even.
Oh my god!
With the.
I broke Poonsauce.
With that one.
Yeah, good job. 25 points for Steve Legion of Northern New South Wales. Motivational blah blahs. You can even this week. This one was a bit of a, I guess, a bit of a follow on from the last couple of days and seeing what people are saying and the good vibes of all of the World Vape Day and that whole situation and what we can achieve inwardly will change outer reality. I mean that's a fairly straightforward one, and probably the base rudiment thing of what we always talk about in motivational blah blahs is working on yourself and working on your own disciplines and that whole situation, being the change that you want to see. And I did see a bit this morning, some fairly, changing tact in people's tweets and, if you want to say not as positive as they had been for the last 48 hours and this morning, particularly with, regards to the WHO and the awarding of their award for the doctor involved in India and banning e-cigarettes in that country, but people taking a very different tact and language and energy and how they're doing. So working on yourself, that's how it'll affect people around you, and that's all I really wanted to say on that is that it's very hard to remember to work on yourself when you're working on stuff externally as well. So. That's
I may have mentioned it on this channel before, but I've had this theory for the longest time. If you get up in the morning and you go to your favorite coffee shop, line up, and when you get to the front, if you treat that person not creepy, not sleazy, but friendly and polite and very, grateful for the service you're getting, and you tip well and you leave and you go through your day like that, one thing, you are making other people happy all the way through your day. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is that by the end of the day, you're going to feel pretty good about your day. You're going to have gotten great service everywhere you go. You hold a door open for someone. You treat the cashier nicely. You offer to help grab something if someone drops it. You get smiles back. You get good vibes coming back your way. And then when you're tucked in, pulling up your sheet, you're like, that was a good day. Mm. You do the next day and you're shitty. You're just horrible to everyone. You get shitty service back. You get short shift. Nobody's going to hold a door open for you. All you're going to get is negative vibes back. At the end of the day, you feel like you had a shitty day. And you extend both of these habits out through every single day, throughout your entire life. And you start to understand why some people are just positive and happy and don't let shit bother them. Mm-hmm. And stuff rolls off their back. And other people are, for want of a better word, entitled Karens who are just looking for a reason to be pissed off. They're predisposed. It's what you are putting out that comes back to you more than everything. You can't stop certain things, but you can change how you react to it. And I think this goes to exactly what you say. Like, you can be positive force for change in the world, but it's going to start right within you with how you treat people in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And not in your life, just around you.
Yeah. 100,000% situation there. Yeah, Disco says there 100%. Yeah, that's it. That was that, and that's the simplest way that change can be affected. Really, really simple. Not easy, of course, but it's a very simple thing to do. Yeah. That's all I had on that subject. I've got nothing else. Anyone?
We got 10 more minutes to fill. What are we going to talk about?
Sure. There was a little bit of talk about DIYing going on back in the chat, and was no, I lost it.
There was, I think Big Rick was saying, from his impression, that the DIY community was very closed and cutthroat and didn't like to share information and stuff. And look, I'm not really heavily into the DIY community, but I would say that the doors that Big Rick has walked through probably were the wrong doors. That's not the community that I've seen there. I've seen the DIY community be very accepting, very giving, very sharing. They're more than happy to listen to you and give you some advice on what you need if you ask for it. They're more than willing to share what they feel is the best way to, the best juices or the best concentrates, the best mixes. I found them to be very, very giving, as is exemplified by this Sunday's Aussie Vape Show when we had Simon on, who, right off the bat and all the way through, his attitude was one of, if you want to learn this, just join a group or come see me. I'll help you out. I'm more than happy. He gave an open call out at the end. If you want to get into it, give him a shout. He'll help you out. Very giving. So maybe there are some groups out there that are very closed and proprietary about their own little blends, but that exists everywhere. You quickly find out which places are the wrong place to be, and you back up, close that door, you go somewhere else.
Yeah, indeed. And sometimes you have to definitely step out of your local bubble. I think I've learned that very quickly with vaping and that whole situation, is that even, pardon me, there's not many people around me that, vape, or not many of my friends certainly don't vape, so I had to look to other places. So, just got to do it. There we go. I see Great Wombatsky. The DIY community is the most open vape space. Ya muppet. Indeed. Ya muppet.
Nothing but love.
Yeah, indeed.
Sure.
Yeah, 100%. Tim, Advocate for Liberty, wants to talk about aliens.
Aliens. The only aliens that I am currently knowledgeable about is Roger from Family Guy. Because I have developed a very bad habit over the last month of binge watching. It is American Dad, which is like almost Family Guy. It's the other version of Family Guy. Why did I say Family Guy? See that I'm old. My brain's going. I'm losing it. Look, honestly, I spent an hour this morning trying to remember a girl that I used to date for a year and a half. Couldn't remember her name. Still can't. I feel really bad about that. I'm old.
What were we talking about? Sorry, I'm old.
Yeah.
Aliens, I think.
Is it time to start the show?
It is time to start the show. I guess it is kind of time to wind down. Poonsauce, do you want to tell everyone what you got coming up?
Oh, yeah, I got the rest. Well, it's only 5 beers with the Things We Don't Say series thing I'm doing, because I only have 5 in my possession. So look forward to those on my YouTube channel between today and Friday. So those are all going to be coming this week. This weekend, we'll get back to the regularly scheduled beer stuffs when it comes to stuff that was coming up. But so check me out on there. Subscribe to my channel if you like what you see. Also, if you're a beer drinker, you can shoot me a friend request on Untappd as well. It's always like try to get more people to go over there. It's a great kind of social media platform for beer drinkers. So many really cool things that they have available over there. So if you're a craft beer lover, get yourself on Untappd. It's fun. You can get deals when it comes to all kinds of different services that Untappd partners with when it comes to like getting like a kegerator or something, like kind of like one of those smaller kegerators where you can put like I want to say like a baby barrel in and kind of have your own tap, or you can have services to where they give you discount codes for their glassware or merch, or they give you like discount codes for getting into beer subscription services. So it's a really cool thing that Untappd does, and I want to see more of the community over there because I know the vape community has a lot of craft beer lovers. So I want to see if I can get more kind of friend requests on there. So just if you get yourself on Untappd, search Poonsauce_McNasty. I should be there to find. Or if you just type in Poonsauce, I think you should be able to find me on there as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And also Wednesday, we got another episode of What's in the News with me and Logan. We unfortunately weren't able to do the one last week because of things going on. Scheduling didn't get appropriately kind of sorted out. But then we decided to do it this week, so just keep an eye out for another episode of What's in the News with your bi-weekly dose of advocacy. Should be an interesting week.
Nice.
For sure.
Nice.
So that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah. Well, of course, I'm just going to put in my thank you. Thank you for coming on as well, Mr. Poonsauce.
No problem.
Yeah, really appreciate it. Stephen, what do you have coming on this week?
I have reviews when I get around to doing them, because I've been busy and I've been slacking. But I got a couple of reviews planned for this week. I'll get around to doing them in the next 2 days, so probably towards the end of the week. Sunday, of course, Aussie Vape Show. I am thinking about reaching out to someone special for a guest. Someone who's been on the show before and someone who was a very popular guest, put it that way. But I won't mention who it is until I get a confirmation.
Nice.
Other than that, not a lot else going on this week. I'm just going to wander around the house in my pajama pants, looking old, and trying to find my hat.
Awesome. Well, there'll be some more. It must be my baseball. More news coming out on the Frank and Tones collab in the next few days, which is really cool. So keep your eye holes peeled for that. Very much supporting local brick and mortars and the online situation here in Australia. If you can, do that. Little self-shilling coils available at Victory Vape and Geelong Vape Co. and 510 Inc. here in Australia, all available online. Also, I'm going to end with something that I'm going to cook in the next few days for my family, which I never knew about. I don't eat KFC or Kentucky Fried Chicken. I just don't. But I learnt of the Famous Bowl. Is that what it's called? The Famous Bowl?
Yeah, they're good. You're just now getting to this? I know.
Holy shit!
On it.
Where have I been? And
just getting around to this.
Yeah, yep. But I am going to be making a Famous Bowl. That's, if you don't know what that is, it's your homework to look up what a Famous Bowl is. And I'm actually going to point the finger of accusation at everybody for not telling me about this sooner, because I must make it. The Famous Bowl, outstanding. And I'll be doing that this weekend. That will be the highlight of the end of the week for me. So that's it. That's what we got.
I'm lost. I'm completely lost.
Yep, it's your homework,
Imagine
Stephen.
every ingredient that you can get between like sides and fried chicken and put it into a bowl and just stick your face in it and enjoy.
Yep.
Okay. I don't think my wife will let me eat that.
Oh, she will.
Oh, your old body will let you eat that. I feel like you would just reject it off the bat.
Yep.
Like, yep, I'm going into cardiac arrest.
Yep. The other disclaimer is they don't sell them here in KFCs in Australia, but making a home one, so a non-KFC version, making a home style one, which is very, very good. Steve,
Stoner Bowl.
Yeah. So I can tell Steve is currently looking up.
Damn.
Yep. We're gonna send you a thank you at home to your face holes for tuning in to us as well. Thanks for giving us your time, and we hope you have an amazing week. I guess we'll see you next week. We'll see you on the Intergoogles. We will see you there. Thanks for everyone for hanging out. We love you and all of that sort of stuff. Be good. See you next week.